Welcome back, survivors, to Year 4 of the cynically awesome Kingdom Death Monster Dreamkeepers campaign. Last year went pretty smoothly. We managed to beat the Crimson Crocodile without much issue, and we discovered a load of new philosophies and knowledges, which we've incorporated into our pool of cards. Unfortunately, we do not have a mechanic for which to spread those to our other survivors. But until then, I'm going to do the best that I can to continue to develop while progressing the survivors that I do have further into their philosophies. So, enough delay. Here are our survivors. We have Jeff with the Crockbone Hammer. Jose has now been upgraded from Scout to Actual Survivor, and he's carrying our Blood Glass Dagger and Crimson items as well as the Crocodile Eyes. Sandy with the guitar and our Rawhide items. And Randy with the other guitar and our extra set of Crimson Folds. Our Scout will be Babs, the first baby born from our settlement. Nothing's particularly special about Babs except he has Coprolalia and 2 extra courage, trying to level up somebody new. So let's start hunting. "95. Grim and Frostbitten. There is a dead stillness in the air. The atmosphere becomes thick with worry, and the survivors carry on nervously. A bitter, evil cold sets in, and there is no shelter. The survivors huddle together for warmth, shivering loudly. Unless the survivor has armor gear at each hit location, they lose quarry monster level survival. Well, although some of our survivors here get the Clothed and Satiated bonus, that does not mean that they have armor gear at every location. They simply have armor at every location. So that'll reduce Jeff to 0, Jose to 1, Sandy to 3, Randy to 3, and Babs to 0. This could actually become a problem because I still don't have departing bonuses yet innovated in my settlement. So I'll find myself using my survival a little more sparingly. But I do have stone noses spread amongst most of my survivors. Next, we have a river of blood. A river of blood flows across your path. Strange eyes surface to watch you. Each survivor must roll to cross the river. Subtract 1 from your gear result if you have any heavy gear in your grid. And you add 2 if they have a whip. Nobody does. So, our Scout gets a 7. You swallow a mouthful of blood that teems with life. Your digestive tract is mangled. Gain 1 bleeding token and vomit out your unwelcome guests. Then it's Randy. Same thing, bleeding token. Sandy. Same thing, bleeding token. Jose. Same thing, token of the bleed. And lastly, Jeff. Same thing. So everyone essentially has 1 bleeding token on them. Jeff and Randy both have the Crimson Folds, which give them a bleeding token when they depart, but also makes it so that they need 1 more to die. So it evens out and everyone essentially has 1 now. Alright, next we have an Ark Survival event. This was one of the cards that got added in because we're playing this campaign. So we roll 1d10 on the Ark Survivor Hunt event table. A 4. Ambition and Complacency. The survivors fixate on their future meal. The survivors' stomachs rumble as they anticipate the upcoming hunt. If the survivor's quarry will provide CC upon victory, the survivors savor the ambition. Otherwise, they suffer the complacency. Complacency. Your feet pulsate with a familiar nagging pain. Your inner lantern sinks as you consider the meager reward that awaits you. Repetition breeds fatigue. All survivors lose 1 survival and gain 1 -1 speed token. The game is finding new ways to mess with my strategy here. This could be a very painful fight. But the fight has now started. So let me set this up and we'll be right back. And here we are. As usual, the monster controller will start with Sandy. And thanks to our stone noses, everyone except Jose and Babs will get 1 survival and 1 insanity upon arriving to the fight. So luckily we get to offset some of that loss. And so the battle begins. Starting with the monster. Spinning eyes. Closest threat in range. We'll always pick Sandy because we picked her and she's the controller. She gets 1 more insanity. Then we'll move into range and attack the target. That's a speed of 3. But this is actually a ranged attack. So for a ranged attack, we're actually looking to get at its maximum distance. We don't need to get in close. We're not trying to run away. The distance of this range attack is 1, 2, 3. So that means we'll get in just enough to be in range. Speed is 2. Accuracy is 3. And Sandy has 2 evasion. So it's actually 5s. And she gets hit both times. These are 1 damage each on the legs and waist. And because I'm going to take damage anyways, I'm not going to avoid any of it. Waist will go to 1, legs will go to 0. After damage, she gains a bleed token. If this attack deals damage, blood erupts between your clenched teeth. It flows through the air toward the monster, coating it and forming a protective scab. The monster gains +1 toughness token. A survivor adjacent to the monster may spend 1 survivor to distract it, stopping its eyes from spinning and canceling this effect. Well, I can't do that. And this is a repeat card, so it goes to the top of the stack, which means crocodile eyes won't help in this. And now I'm really dealing with a problem here. -1 speed on everyone, but +1 toughness on the monster. Your toughness is now 8. You see, this game finds new ways to mess with you. You might have been thinking, oh, why face the Crimson Crocodile again? You've beaten it 3 times. It's getting old now, isn't it? No, we're not there yet. If this crocodile can still surprise us like this, we're probably not ready for the Smog Singers. And thanks to this attack, I can't get into the backside. But you know what I can do? Is send Sandy forward because she has facism, which means she can only attack the monsters facing anyways. Unfortunately, the Blood Glass Guitar only now has a speed of 1 thanks to the stupid token. And now I'm hitting on 6s. Got a hit with the 7. We have the Blushing Hip Wrinkles. So my strength is honed 4, plus my innate 1, looking to now match 8. Those are 3 ups. That's a 9. I don't have any innate luck, so it's just a 9, doesn't matter. Which means Spinning Eyes goes away. It's a special wound location, putting it there. Now we're in a bit of a pickle here. The next hit location has to be the front. And you're now out of moves and actions. I can surge you, so I will do that. Actually, I will do that, but I forgot that my rawhide gloves gave me 1 survival upon departure, which I did not record. So by the end of this, I'll be at 3 survival. So looking for 6s. And that's a 6. And look at that. Looking for 3s again on the Sparkling Tongue. That's a 1. Ooh, I don't want that. I don't want that. Now, I wonder something. There's an interesting order of operations I'm thinking of exploding right now. So, I could do the reroll. That's one thing. But there is a survival window between a roll and a reaction where other survivors can do things. And I'm thinking, if it's possible, I can send Jose here in next to Sandy. Jose has the Guardian knowledge. I didn't show this last time because I forgot, but the Guardian knowledge says this. After an adjacent survivor makes a roll, you may intervene. Gain 1 systemic pressure token and re-roll 1 of their roll results. Limit once per showdown. Using this knowledge twice will upgrade it, but it would be really interesting if I could do that, though I think the window might be a bit too late because I need to be adjacent to them after or before they make the roll. Then I get to have them re-roll it. So I'm going to just use Sandy's once per lifetime here. It's a bit of a waste. I'd rather use those to prevent someone from dying, but I think we just need to do better here. Looking for 3s. 4. That works. Another wound, and this is out. So now everyone else can do something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't get into the blind spot, so everyone just has to start beating on him. Kind of all I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crockbone Hammer only hits on 7s. That's a 9. Fleshy Body. Now my strength altogether is 3, which means I'm looking for 5s. That's a crit. You carve a hunk from the monster's body. Gain 1 random monster resource. The monster squeals in pain and gains -1 movement token. It's not the biggest of deals, but hey, free resources. I will take that. Alright, everyone else, just go in, right? 1, 2. Now you have the Bloodglass Dagger, which actually has 3 speed, now reduced to 2. 6s. That's 1 hit. Modifiers altogether becomes 3, 4, 5. Looking for 3s. A 9. Unfortunately, I have -1 luck, which means I can't crit with this character. Doesn't matter again, I'm looking for crits where there should not be any. That's a wound and a new one of these. Great. Well, here's what I can do now. I can dash with Sandy and get her out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then have 1, 2, 3. Randy with the Bloodglass Guitar on 5, no, 6s. That's a 9. 4, 5, 3s. And that's another crit. A pressure jet of oxygen-rich blood sprays into your mouth. Gain +1 permanent strength and suffer the frenzy brain trauma twice. Gain the monster resource Eye of the Immortal. Alright, a lot's happening here. +1 strength. Oh yeah. And another observation for your accuracy training, thanks to the hit, plus the strength, and then frenzy twice. And if I recall, frenzy is pretty darn good for us. Frenzy says gain 1d5 insanity. That'll be 1 damage to 2 hit locations. +1 speed and +1 strength. You ignore slow and melee weapons. Okay. You may not spend survival. You may not use fighting arts. You may not use weapon specializations or weapon masteries. Can be gained multiple times until the end of the showdown. Speaking of, that reminds me, not that it's gonna matter for anything, but at the start of the showdown, he could have spent his survival token from survivalism to just gain a survival, which he can no longer use, but for all intents and purposes, this only matters because although we've already discovered Tenacity 2, he was still on Tenacity 1. So spending it allows him to level up his own Tenacity, and now he's at Tenacity 2. So the 2 hits he's taking is to the waist and to the chest. 1 waist, light injury on chest. But +2 speeds and +2 strengths make him a force to be reckoned with. So it's a net speed gain of 1 and 2 extra strength. Unfortunately, I cannot surge because frenzy. But, I mean, next time, I'll get you. I can have the scout go in 1, 2, 3 and hit on 7s. No, that's a miss. That's fine. Monster. Last threat to attack in range. Oh, whoops, that was the scout. Turn to face. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. With the native Asian, making it 4s. That's 1 miss. Still 1 hit, and you have no survival on you. To your waist. That'll be a heavy injury to that location, giving you bash. And then the monster's long tooth discharges concentrated corsetol directly into your bloodstream. Gain the immortal disorder and the anemic impairment, which means that you will die on 4 bleeding tokens as opposed to 5. Now, Babs here doesn't have any insanity. They're terrified already. And Immortal says all your damage is dealt to your brain instead. And you can't spend survival while insane. Well, I mean, all of that's kind of neither here nor there. But you are becoming quite the impaired survivor here, Babs. So we need to get you out of here. No more fighting for you. So let's have our champion here, Randy. 1, 2, 3. Speed of 3. Accuracy of 5. Only hitting once. We actually need him to hit more so we can get his accuracy training up, because we're 1 away from leveling it up. Now strength is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm already matching, so anything but a 1. A 3, that works. That's a wound. And the monster flips upside down and glides on its ring leg fingers, moving 2 spaces forward, then cranes his neck to wink at the attacker. They suffer 2 brain damage. That's fine. These survivors, however, will be knocked back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and knocked down. As for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not a good place to be in, but here's what we can do. Randy here can fist bump and get Jose up. Now Jose, unfortunately, I just have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get in. Your dagger hits on 6s. Nothing. Predicament. Sandy is going to activate this terrain. On a 4, she gets 2 insanity and a basic resource, archiving the terrain, putting her to 9, and our basic terrain being monster hide. But if you thought, why would you do that in the middle of a fight when there's a monster right in front of you? Well, Sandy has the physiognomy knowledge, which levels up as I activate terrain pieces. So I'm just trying to get some of that while I can. I can still go in and say 1, 2, 3, 4 and spend a survival for a surge. Hitting on 6s, and that's a hit. Wounding on 3s. That's a wound. Again with the upside down. Again with the 2 spaces forward. Again with the knocking down. And 2 damage. It would be very greedy of me to encourage, but I'll try it. But unfortunately, so I've already done fist bump, which I can do. It's just like encourage. But encourage, because Randy has the selfish neurosis from his survivalism philosophy, I actually might fail this if I roll poorly. And actually, I get it. It's 6+ will make the encourage fail. But 5- means it's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in there. Jeff hitting on 6s. Miss. I tried, and I don't know whether or not surging is really worth doing here for him. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I couldn't even do that. Okay. You became frenzied. So you have to stay back there. You could have done what you did. Nothing else could have happened the way it did. So your survivor goes back. Not that you can use it. You're okay. Everything else is as it is. We have a delighted mood, which has us draw another AI. Then the monster can barely contain its delight as a pungent foam leaks from its maw. While this is in play, the monster has -1 accuracy and +1 speed for each terrified survivor. That's 1. When a survivor dies, the monster is knocked down in excitement. Then we discard delighted. The attack is the closest threat in range. So the only threat would be you. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So close. You actually only have a movement of 5 now. Then he does a barbed tail whip. So that means this would be speed of 2 becomes 3, accuracy 3 becomes 4, with my evasion 5. Still pretty likely to hurt a lot. That's 1 miss, but 2 hits. Head and waist, 1 damage each. Head goes to 0, waist goes to 0. After that attack, bleed 1, knock back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knock back 5, but not knock down 5. The mood is now out of the AI deck, so it technically counts as having wounded the monster. So you'll see on screen, I'll put -1 wound, but asterisk because it could come back. And now everyone gets to come back up. Now we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, or rather, should I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's have you do it first. You are our champion. 3 attacks hitting on 5s. That is 3 hits. Oh, we're gonna draw that trap, I know it. 1, 2, 3, no. Well, we still have a decent amount left. And after this attack is resolved, I think, the accuracy levels up for sure. So now, what do we have here? My strength is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, anything but 1s. So let's see, which ones will keep me in the fight if I fail. Let's go for the blushing, twisting back. That succeeds. 1 out. And it's coagulated. So you go in. Then from here, can I suffer brain damage? I can. Or if I have him go left, he actually gets into range. So let's try this one. I fail. I'm okay with that because fail to roll, full move to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, range. I am in you. And the other locations are out. So now our location here is that spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. But before anything else, accuracy training. Level up. Very simple, +1 accuracy. It's rather basic, but stats are stats. We'll take them. And I have them for as long as I have the knowledge. So if I lose the knowledge, I lose the stats. So Jose, speed 2, accuracy 6. That's 1 hit. Perfect. And it's one of those locations that gives us +3 strength. So we have 3, 6, 7, and 8. 8 for crocodile eyes. So anything but a 1. A 2. We'll take it. We will take it. Okay. Unfortunately, Jeff, you are so far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just need to get into the game. And I think we're in a pretty good spot. I have, well, last threat to attack in range will be you. Do I want you to get hit? Yeah, you're pretty fresh. Do I want you to get hit? You're pretty good. But I think if I don't grab this now, I'll never grab it. So let's grab this debris. A 4. Find something useful. Gain a random basic resource and archive the terrain. Okay. I don't mind that. We get a skull, which gives somebody insanity. Let's give it to Babs. And then Babs can spend their action to get rid of Terrified. because they now have 1 insanity. And then Babs can kind of run off into a corner. We don't need anything out of you. And that's it. Reshuffle the deck. The monster's speed and accuracy is normal. And we have the tail whip. Closest threat in range, that's you. We face like this. 2 attacks. 3s becomes 4s. Thanks to innate evasion. And that's it. 2 7s. That's okay. Hit to the waist and to the head. 1 damage. 1, 1. So head is at 1, waist is at 0. You get a bleed token or a knockback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Manageable. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not in range. Well, let's just have you go. 1, 2. 1 attack hitting on 6s. A 9. Trapped. Okay. All survivors are doomed. The monster's many fingers gesture in a hypnotic wave. The attacker gains a terrified status card. That's not good. The monster accelerates the heart rate. Get the death count. I die in 5 turns. Monster giggles. Fool moves away from all survivors. So honestly, I think this direction is more away from all survivors as opposed to this direction. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then turn to face its attacker. There. And you just kind of leave me hanging. Now what's interesting is, let's have the scout get out of here. I think his next attack won't be able to reach anyone if I do something about it. So I could get closer, but then he can pick someone to definitely hit and then hit them. Or I could have her dash and get away so that the monster then has to get close, and then we can jump on him. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. Now what's interesting about death count is that it says at the end of the round you gain 1 survival, and you place a death count token on the card. You can surge an additional time each round for each token on the card. When there's 5 tokens on the card, you die. So the round would end now. In fact, I might as well just surge, or dash rather, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's definitely going a way that you can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I want to be beyond. So that you cannot reach. You cannot reach anyone. Now I'm back up to 1 survival. So, monster. And everyone else just kind of sits on their asses. Monster. Last threat to attack in range. Well, you are the last one to attack, but you're no longer in range. Nobody's in range, so we go down. Closest threat in field of view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's you. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't reach because your movement has been reduced. And that's it. We just get to avoid that. So, let's kick some ass. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Guitar, 6s, 5s now thanks to your accuracy training. That's 3 hits. Let's not mess this up. 1, 2, 3. Cool. All right. 2 failures and a reflex. My strength, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. Anything but 1s. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me think of something fancy here. Since I knew this was going to happen, Jose here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want Jose ready to support you with Guardian. So hopefully I can actually mitigate any 1s that I roll. So, bless your body. 9. No luck. Wound. So one of these is out. Wrinkled gums. 6. Both these are out. Last HP, pale fin. 2. You know, I kind of just want to use it. So I'll use it. I don't need to re-roll this. I got the wound. But I want to re-roll this. Crit! There you go. I'm fishing for crits. Critical wound. Oh, okay, here we go. The monster looks at its ruined fin, its many irises spinning with hatred. Gain the priority target token and discard a mood in play. Fuck. Wait, no, the wound happens first. The wound, you die first, then resolve the critical injury here. If you're the sole target of the next AI, you may embrace the monster's hatred. If you do, you are doomed for the attack and gain +1 permanent strength. Oh, okay, you know what? No, I don't get that cool bonus. I thought, oh, +1 permanent strength, I get it. No, I don't. I do not. Because boom, you go to -1, you die, you can't come back to life because it says discard a mood in play. No, that's not how that works. You're dead. You remove the wound immediately, you're dead. Cool. That went pretty okay considering everyone got -1 speed. That was bad. And then our survival being as low as it is, that's not great. We really need something to generate survival in our settlement. But let's get our rewards here. Of course, I get multiple of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then 4 basics. No, stop giving me hides. Love juice. Okay. I swear I shuffle. I really do. I spend like a minute shuffling and I cut out the sounds of all the riffling so that you don't have to hear it. I mean, it's not like I'm looking for anything in particular, but come on. So, back to the settlements. Jeff is up for a promotion. Jose and Sandy just get 1 experience, and Babs. And Randy gets a promotion. So, we set up our table. We gain our endeavors. Let's update the timeline. This is now year 4. We do our normal settlement event. I'm going to shuffle this on screen. Heat wave. Heat wave says it's impossibly hot. Any returning survivor with heavy or fur gear have heat stroke and may not depart this lantern year. This heat wave prevents science and education endeavors, and if you depart with heavy gear in your grid, set your survival to 0 after applying bonuses. Heavy or fur, you say? No, 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 nope, and no. All right, doesn't apply to us. So, great. And there are 2 endeavors on here. Finding fluid, super doesn't matter. Breathing fumes, not necessarily good. So we're gonna ignore this event almost entirely. So, being that as it may, let's check out our new rank 2 philosophies. First we got Randy. Rank 2 survivalism, we've seen this, but we can still get something new out of it. Survivors and their tools are feeble, no one and nothing can protect you, so you give in to fear. Electrifies your exhausted body. Gain +1 Lumi and roll 1d10. We roll a 7. You practice keeping your eyes open while they are closed, gain death sense. We already have that. Now, unfortunately, I am full on knowledges, and I have the option of whether or not I want to replace one of them. And at this time, I don't want to. Death sense is nothing for now, and it requires a lot of observations before it becomes something. And I really like Hunger 2 currently. It gives me +1 survival upon departure, and accuracy training is +1 accuracy. So keeping that. Unfortunately, that rank up was kind of nothing. So Jeff, with your lanternism, you are now at rank 2. This is new. Lanternism, the undying light. The light is life, but where does its shine come from? The lifeless bodies of the dead are dim like the burned out husks of extinguished lanterns. In the churning gleam of lightened lanterns, You see where the souls of the fallen have come to rest. You rush to their side, prying the vessels of their being from the death grip of their fated bodies. Gain +1 Lumi and roll. That's a 10. You nestle close to the lights of the dead. They cast shadows across your body. You squint until their shapes take meaning. Gain the courage and understanding of a dead survivor of your choice and Lantern's souls. I'm pretty sure Mandy didn't have either of those. So, too bad. But the Lantern Soul's knowledge, let's see what that is. You understand the Lantern's truth. When you depart, gain +1 affinity of your choice. Now, this is more of a mid to late game kind of thing. Affinities aren't super crazy right now, but I can see this being very useful later. So we have it, and hell, maybe colored charms are in our future. So, as per usual, we've got a bunch of crap. Let's get rid of an organ, a bone, and a hide for an innovation. Draw 4, pick 1. We actually don't have a very big innovation deck, so hopefully I get something really good. And I will take Hovel. This will give us at least 1 departing survival bonus, where we currently have none. And it increases our survival limit, so can't say no to that. So there's 1 endeavor gone. Love Juice, can't say no to this. We get a baby. So let's pick 2 survivors. Let's pick Nami, our female leader from last time, who I probably should have brought this time. And Babs, our scout from this time, just because they still have their rerolls available to them. Babs on the left. 4 and 9. 4 just gives us a newborn. We don't have beds, so they can't get +1 strength, which is fine. This is okay. And now we just have a bunch of resources here. And so I'll come back after I figure out what we're spending them on. And here we are. I've used everything in storage and what you see on screen. So let's go in order here. Flat Vein plus 1 of the Pale Fleshes in my storage. Crimson Guard. Pale Flesh, Pale Fingers, Crimson Folds. Perfect Hide, Rawhide Boots. It's kind of a waste, but okay. Crimson Bone, Monster Hide, Crimson Helm. 1 Endeavor, Hollow Stone. The 2 Hollow Stones that we've been building up, plus the Broken Lantern we have in our storage. Stoneface Cloak. This is a neat little piece of gear that our scout can wear that gives them head and chest armor. And it lets them hide as a hidden face on the board. Cute. Monster Hide, Rawhide Pants. Crimson Bone, the remaining Pale Flesh in our storage. Crimson Slippers. 2 endeavors here for partnership. We're going to pick 2 people. Let's pick the 2 newborns that I have. Not named, and let's have them be partners. So I'll name them. So whenever they arrive at a fight, they'll gain survival up to the limit, which is 6 now. So, I mean, I have the excess endeavors, I might as well. And then we have our last endeavor at Augury. A 4 plus 1 survival for someone who is definitely going out to fight the Butcher, because that's what's coming up next. The reason why I did all of this is I'm building armor for this fight. With everything that I have here, I have a full set of the Crimson armor, and then a full set of the Rawhide, and then some extras so I can pass them around and hopefully get as much people the Clothed and Satiated bonus as I can. And then of course, something for the scouts so that they're not naked, something so that 2 new people can fight the Butcher and have a fighting chance with maximum survival, surging around, dodging, etc. That's my mindset going in, because I need to now prepare my survivors for a fight with the Butcher. Here's where we'll see if I've been building my characters correctly or if I've been woefully wasting my time. Let's set up our encounter with the Butcher. There once was a man who could not hide his fear. He wore a mask that transformed his cowardice into rage. In turn, the man transformed into a monster. All that remained was a devouring fury that stalked the night. collecting the fearful faces of others. The butcher has arrived to our settlement. Why is he here? To ruin our day, specifically. So we are defending ourselves. And to show that, we actually go first. Although we would have technically gone first anyways because I happen to draw the dead monster terrain tile. Doesn't matter. Let me introduce you to our defenders. In the scout corner, Jose, our trusted scout who has been the scout since the beginning. He's got a stone-faced cloak, a bloody cloth, and a founding stone. I don't expect him to do much. Then our newlyweds, Jesse and James. They are complete nobodies, but they have the partner ability, so they arrived with full survival, despite being brand new. James has Crimson Falls, Crimson Slippers, Blade Cloth, our Crockbone Hammer, and Stone Noses. Jesse has almost the exact same loadout, except no slippers, and instead has a Blood Glass Dagger and a Founding Stone. James will benefit from the Clothed and Satiated bonus because he has 3 pieces of armor and doesn't qualify for any other armor bonus. Jesse does not. Unfortunately, the Stone Noses do not count as armor. Our other veteran here is Sarah. She's got the full Crimson Armor set, Stone Nose, and the Blood Glass Guitar. Her knowledges are Tenacity 2, Death Sense, and Strength Training 2. And then we have Sandy in a full Rawhide set, Blood Glass Guitar, Crocodile Eyes, and a Bloody Cloth. She's got Physiognomy, Despair 1, and Stone Heart 1. Everyone's full on survival except for Sandy, who's at 4, and Jose, who's at 1. But since we're here, we might as well begin. I'll start with Sandy, who will activate the Secandus plant next to her. On a 5, she finds something tasty and consumes it, gains 1 survival, and archives the terrain. That's okay. Getting French Acanthus would be nice, but what's more nice is getting 1 more observation point towards Physiognomy. Then we'll have her run in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have her dash, spends a survival, back down to 4. And keep her right there. Because of her faces and philosophy, she can't get around anyways, so might as well attack the face. But Glass Guitar says 6 ups, no accuracy. That's 1 hit. Now I forgot to note, because she has the full Rawhide set, I actually can get back my survival if I roll 6s upon each usage. So we'll roll once for the dash and then once for the surge that I'm using for this attack. So 6 plus dash. I get it back. 6 plus surge. I get it back. So we're actually still at 5 survival. Not bad. But now this actual hit location. The Furious Gauntlet. It's got no special things except for a failure. My strength is honed 4, plus 1 innately, 5, plus Crocodile Eyes, 6. The toughness of the Butcher is 9. So, a 3-up. That's good enough. 1 damage. Our Butcher started with 12 AI cards, meaning that he has 13 health. That's 1 down. And that's pretty much all she can do. What is everyone else going to do? With high survival, we can dash over and really get into attack. It actually does suck that we have to go first because we have to go and chase the Butcher down. So Sarah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't even get to the back even if you wanted to. But I'll still attempt to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be there. Your Blood Glass Guitar, 6s. That is 2 hits. Furious Vambraces and Furious Bellow. Your strength, 4 from your weapon, 1 from your innate strength, and then 1 from strength training. So 6s, also looking for 3s. I'll go for the Furious Bellow first. Oh my god, we're throwing this dice out. Reflex, the Butcher unleashes a deep guttural roar. Unless the attacker is deaf or has 3 plus courage, they suffer brain damage equal to the monster's level and are knocked down. Putting you down to 5, knocking you down. Okay, here's what's going to happen. James is going to spend 1 of his survival to fist bump, get her up. She's going to surge, attempt another attack on 6s. 2 more hits. Now here's something interesting. The Butcher's Mask. Let's go for that. 3s. A 9. That'll do it. 1 wound out. Wound. The blow shocks the Butcher, knocking it off balance. The Butcher staggers, gaining -2 toughness until the end of the round. Which means this is anything but a 1. I try. I really do. I try really hard. That one also goes to Dice Jail. The Butcher spins violently, smashing everything around it. All survivors in the zone of death suffer bash and knockback 5. Bash is knocked down. Knockback 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Jesse. That's 5. With a dash, we'll get you to 1, 2, 3, 4, same spot. Crockbone Hammer, 7s. Not a 1. And then we'll have Jesse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dash, 1, 2, 3. Bloodglass Dagger on 6s. 2. We got a problem here. We got a super dense location. I'm not going to do that one just yet. Your strength is 3 with an innate 1 looking for 5s. We'll do the Furious Scrag first. That's a wound. Then the Pig Shoulder. Wow. Dice Jail. But it's okay, I didn't wound the location, therefore my Bloodglass Dagger still maintains its sharpness. If I actually succeeded in this, its strength would be 0. So we still have some time with it. I will attempt a Surge with Jesse. Second roll, same as the first. 6s. That's 3. We're getting to a bad time. Overpower. And this is a trap. The Butcher explodes in a burst of ferocity. The attacker is doomed. All survivors in the zone of malice gain 1 bleeding token and suffer knockback 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just knockback. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And a bleeding token. 1, 1. And actually if they... So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would actually have him be here. They both can't obviously share the same space. So he must move to an adjacent space, which is up, down, left, right. And also be knocked down. So we'll knock him down over here. But as for Jesse, we could do something interesting. And knock her back here. That is an adjacent free space next to where she should have been. And see what's going to happen here is the Butcher is going to perform a basic action against Jesse, which will do this. We skip targeting because we've already determined the target. Then we move and attack our target. Your movement is 5. So that'll get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 5. Either way, not in range of our target. And if you want it to be really crazy, we could spin him that way because that's still in facing. So we managed to bring him in a little closer. Though our scout probably isn't looking too happy here. The scout, see if I go in. Unfortunately, I would go in if I had more survival. I only have the 1 and I don't want him to eat the acanthus because I really want to save that for Sandy. So I'm just going to have him run away. He needs to stay alive so that we can get our gear back. So it's the Butcher's turn. The Butcher has some interesting rules here. 1, he draws 2 AI cards every turn. 2, his hit location deck gets reshuffled at the start of his turn, which I won't need to do right now. I've already shuffled it because of the last time. And then 3, he gets stronger for everyone he kills. So first we have to deal with 2 cards. Screaming. Screaming is a mood. When it comes into play, all non-deaf survivors suffer 1 brain damage per level. And speaking of, we have infectious lunacy. When you suffer brain damage, you gain lunacy tokens equal to the damage suffered. When you have 3+ tokens, you'll remove them all and suffer frenzy. So this means everyone's starting to go crazy. At the start of the Butcher's turn, all non-deaf survivors suffer 1 brain damage per monster level. And then we discard Screaming if a survivor dies. So this remains in play, meaning that the monster is technically 1 health less. And normally, moods tell us to draw an extra AI card to accommodate for the mood coming into play. But this one doesn't. So that means that was the first AI, and here's the second. Gaze of Truth. Closest threat and facing. None exists. Closest threat. You. Jose. Move and intimidate the target. So, he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and be next to our scout. But between picking a target and performing the action, there is a survival window, meaning that we can spend a survival and do something about it. And we're going to dash. 1, 2, 3. So now, he's still going to move towards you, because you're the target, but he'll only go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he moves and intimidates the target. The Butcher looms over the target mere inches from their face. If the Butcher is adjacent to the target, blah blah blah, no. So we actually avoid that entirely. Then it's the end of the monster's turn, and everyone gets up. And looks like we're in prime position, baby. So we'll start with Sarah. She'll use up her 2 survival tokens, get back their missing survival she's lost, bring her back up to 6. And going towards her survivalism observation. Then we'll have her go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bloodglass Guitar. 2 hits. 1, 2. Furious Bellow and Furious Shoulder. I think I'll go for the shoulder. Both of them are bad, but I don't want to suffer frenzy just yet, or do I? No, not just yet. Give it some time. So our strength is 4, 5, 6. Looking for 3s. That's a wound. 1 out. Zone of Death. Suffer bash and knockback 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay. Jesse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7s. Do I really want to get you behind though? Maybe. 7s. Yeah, 7s isn't good. We'll dash. So we can give you that blindside bonus. 6s. Would have gotten those anyways. We've got the thick cape and the breastplate. Strength is only 2 with the hammer, plus 1 for the innate. So we're looking for 6s. So 6s on left. That's a wound. Unfortunately, the attacker rolls 1d10. If the result is greater than your courage, it is. You suffer brain damage equal to the monster level. Brain damage puts you down to 0 brain damage and 2 lunacy. But we can still keep going. This location has plus 2 to wound. So 6s becomes 8s. A 9. If the roll to wound this location is a lantern 10, no. It is a wound though. So boom, that's a wound. Not bad. We're not going to have you surge. We're kind of in a bad spot. With no insanity left, it's a bit dangerous. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up the Acanthus. A 10. We gain 1 fresh Acanthus strange resource and archive the terrain. Again, just looking to get physiognomy out of here. 1 more terrain activation and physiognomy will level up. Then we'll dash, but do we actually? We do. We spend the survival down to 4. 1, 2, 3. Then we surge, but do we actually? We don't. We don't actually spend the survival is what I mean. So we're still at 4, which means I get to do my surge for free. Katara on 6s. That's a double miss. That's a no sir. That's a Jesse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not in range. Dash. Get in there. Down to 3. Dagger. 5s. 1. 1 hit. At an impervious location. The attacker's heart is frozen with dread. We gain 1 insanity. Cute, but it's impervious, meaning I can't do anything about it. We will surge down to 2. That is 3. Impervious, again, just get that out of there. Next up is the failure. So that's 3, 4, looking for 5s. So we didn't fail. Boom, another wound. Out. 5s. No. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's not good enough. Oh well. Reflex. Full move towards the attacker. Don't move if already adjacent. Well, it says don't move if already adjacent. So, like, you don't move, so you don't change facing. So, 80 what 80. Alright, that ends our turn. Although the scout can keep running away into the corner. He's just trying to watch. Butcher's turn means the hit location deck reshuffles, which is good and bad. Good because the trapped location can now be anywhere. Bad because the trapped location could be anywhere and we have to deal with those very annoying hit locations again. But now here becomes the problem. Remember, the Butcher is screaming his head off, meaning all non-deaf survivors, not even adjacent or not, just all non-deaf survivors, suffer 1 brain damage. Jose, 26 brain left. I think you'll be fine. Jesse, 2 brain left, 2 lunacy. Sandy, 6 brain left, 2 lunacy. Sarah, 3 brain left, 3 lunacy, meaning you will suffer frenzy. James, light brain injury, 3 lunacy, also suffering frenzy. Now, frenzy isn't a bad brain injury, but it does prevent us from using survival. In full, frenzy says this: gain 1d5 insanity, +1 speed, and +1 strength token. You ignore slow on melee weapons, you may not spend survival, you may not use fighting arts, and that includes knowledges. If you can't use fighting arts, you can't use knowledges. You may not use weapon specializations or masteries, and you can gain this multiple times, and it lasts until the end of the showdown. So, first off, insanity on Sarah. That's 4 insanity, putting her to 7. And then on James, that is also 4. Which is good, because he still maintains the light injury, but he gains the insanity, so he's not going to hopefully suffer a brain trauma. And then they both get +1 speed and strength, which is cool, but no survival means that I lose a lot of the utility that I have, which means no dodges, no dashes, no surges, and especially no encourages and fist bumping. And here's the Butcher's actual turn. Kick, closest threat. Check in the face. Move and attack the target. Now she still has the ability to dodge, so I wonder if we'll be able to make use of it here. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Now my evasion is 1 innately, 5s. My rawhide vest, 6s. 2 hits. Rolling. Both on my chest. I'll suffer 1 damage each. I do have 4 survival, so I kind of might as well, right? Spend it before I lose it to insanity. I do spend it. I'm at 3 survival. I do dodge 1 of them, but I do take 1 damage to the chest, putting me down to 1 armor point remaining. After taking damage, I suffer knockback 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and gain priority target. The Butcher then pursues the target, performing the basic action. Basic action. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, makes it 5s, makes it 6s again. 1 miss, 1 hit. This I can no longer dodge. Take 1 damage to the waist, down to 1. Then I gain 1 bleeding token. That would be her first. Then my second card, closest threat facing, guess who it is? 4 attacks on 4s, 5s, 6s. only one hit to my head. I have a lot of armor there, so down to 2. For each hit, make an additional attack roll. Continue until all attacks miss. So that means only one hit. So I assume that means not an entire do-over, but just a single roll for each hit. That's still a hit. So I'm going to just see how many hits I have to defend against. So just one more, which will be on my legs. So I survived. If your target survives Hack City, we get the story event, Legendary Lungs. The sensations of the Butcher's attack is similar to drowning. Desperately, you gasp for air only to be met with a mouthful of steel. The monster's attack rained down on you, each blow faster than the last. Despite the attack lasting only a moment, things seem to slow down. You feel numb and isolated, as if trapped in an endless body of water. There is no hope of escape. Just the pressure from above on your gasping lungs. As the pounding in your chest intensifies, you recall the even rhythm of the monster's heaving chest. There is a chance you will learn something. Learn. Roll 1d10. A 9. Deep breath. It seems crazy, but it makes perfect sense to you. The secret to the monster's attack is its amazing control over its breathing. Despite its anger, the rise and fall of its chest keeps a constant, steady rhythm, even at the height of its brutality. Gain the Legendary Lungs secret fighting art and +3 survival. 3 survival brings me up to 6. And the Legendary Lungs secret fighting art. Now, remember, this is ARC survivors. They don't tend to gain fighting arts the same way as other survivors do. But a quick look at Vault List says when an ARC survivor gains a secret fighting art, they gain it as normal and suffer 1 systemic pressure or torment and end the event. So we actually do gain the fighting art, which is incredibly rare. Legendary Lung says once per attack, for each successful hit, make an additional attack roll, which I'll treat the same way. So congratulations, Butcher, you've only made me stronger, and I get this in addition to my knowledges. You've created a monster in Sandy and you don't even know it. That's both your attacks resolved. And Sarah gets to stand back up. Unfortunately, Sarah and James are frenzied, meaning they can't spend survival. So that's all you can do. Now you can get in there, but I'm not going to have you go in. Instead, we're going to have Sandy use her new technique. Blood Glass Guitar. 6s. 1 hit. 2 hits. Now, the lungs say once per attack, for each successful hit, make an additional attack roll. If the additional attack roll is another hit, it sounds like it can keep going. So let's keep going until we no longer hit. Just 2, which is fine. I don't want to go too crazy and roll too many locations. Gauntlet and Greaves. Let's go with the Gauntlet first. It has a failure condition. I don't plan on failing. 4, 5, 6, 3s. That's a wound. Greaves. 3s. Full move towards the attacker. Don't if already adjacent. Look where we are. Already adjacent. I'm very tempted to get this dead monster. It's, resources. So that's 5. Dash. Do I spend it? I don't. She's going to run over and try and get that before the game ends. Then we have, let's do James. He now has a speed of 3. He could actually end it right here. 6s. 2. It's a super dense location, which would normally be a problem if my weapon was frail or had honed. Crockbone Hammer does have neither. Instead, what it does have is Clobber 4, which is plus 4 strength if attempting to wound a super dense location. 4 plus the 2 plus the innate 1 plus my frenzy 1 is 8 strength. Anything but a 1. That's a wound. You have 2 health remaining. Then the shoulder, so we lose that 4 bonus, but otherwise, we're at strength 4, toughness 9, 5s. That's a wound. So we're basically going to win, but I need everyone to survive, and I need to go pick this up with her. So what I'm going to do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much survival do you have? 2? Well, that's okay, because we can spend 1 to dash, so that, well, actually, we don't need you to. If you stay there, no AI cards left means that all he's doing is the basic action, which will target the closest survivor in field of view, which is anyone except for the blind side. And technically, wouldn't be her because this actually blocks field of view. So I can have it be her. So I don't need to spend it to become the next target, and we can just kind of sit there and wait for him to come to us. But wait a minute. No, I don't want to do this. I really want to get that, right? That's pseudo my mission here. Problem is, his turn is going to start, his mood is going to happen, everyone's going to take a brain damage, which won't kill anyone, but it'll cause her to become frenzied, and then she can't spend survival to surge and dash over and grab it. Meaning, I should just end it. Bloodglass Dagger on 5s. 2. Cleaver, 1 brain. Great. Thick Cape, don't care. Hone 3, Strength 1, 4, looking for 5s. Got it. And that's game. That is it. Butcher, defeated. The aftermath. The Butcher is an inspiration. Any victorious survivors may immediately select Axe weapon proficiency, regardless of age milestones. Any accrued ranks of weapon proficiency are lost when switching to a new weapon type. I don't know whether or not we can gain this currently, because Arc survivors don't gain weapon mastery by age. So I'm not going to have anyone do it, just to be safe. So everyone will gain 1 hunt experience and our rewards. Our rewards, though, this guy isn't a traditional monster, so he doesn't necessarily drop traditional resources. Instead, we roll 1d10 and add the level to the result. And we gain whatever is listed on the table. So, a 10, which takes us to 11. The Butcher's Cleaver, rare gear, 1d5 broken lanterns, and a hunk of living flesh. Used to regrow 1 dismembered limb right now only. Didn't lose any limbs, so that's alright. But the lanterns I'll take. 1. Okay, you know what, that's fine. Okay, fine. But the Cleaver is nothing to scoff at. It is a 2/5/5 weapon, which you must be insane to use, and if you die with it, you lose it. But that's a good weapon to have in our back pocket. But not only that, Jose gets a rank up in his philosophy, as well does Sandy the legendary lungs, and everyone else just gets 1 hunt experience. But that was great. That was quite possibly the most successful attempt I've ever had at fighting the Butcher. So let's see our new rank ups. Sandy will go to rank 2, Faceism. In each gaze, you see your own face looking back. Your world is a fractal mirror. Your own questioning expression is an exasperating mystery clinging to the survivors and emerging from every blank surface. Gain +1 Lumi and roll 1d10. A 10. With a fragment of lantern, you busy yourself, erasing the features of the stone faces around you. The bloodied, featureless face bring relief. Gain +1 Lumi, as well as an observation in your tenant knowledge. And guess what? That will rank up physiognomy. But let's see if it was worth it. Physiognomy 2. During the showdown, draw 2 additional terrain and pick one according to its setup rules. Fine, whatever. Hey, at least that the rank up didn't go to waste. But I can't say I'm particularly enthused. Then Jose goes to rank 2 Dreamism. You reverently meditate at the Guardian's feet. The Dreamkeeper holds the fates of so many in its hands. Its crooked smile hides the secret of knowing what is to come. You ask for a prophecy of your future. In answer to your prayers, the Guardian shifts its immense weight, plucking a sleeping figure with its brittle black nails. Gain 1 Lumi and roll 1d10. 1. The hairless dreamer slowly blinks, raising itself on its elbows to meet your gaze with a knowing look. It opens its mouth to speak but chokes, regurgitating a stomachful of the dreamer's spittle that runs in rivulets along the dreamer's ball. Unable to catch your breath, they turn blue and fall dead. Gain +1 Lumi. Okay. Alright then. That definitely wasn't as exciting, but that is the full year survived. We technically would go back to the settlement, according to this, because the special showdown, which the Butcher was, is actually a part of this year 4. Then we'd come back, update the death count, nobody died, check milestones, we just did that, develop, but we didn't get many new resources, so it doesn't matter, and then prepare parting survivors for next year. I think next year, we're ready for it. We're ready to fight the Smog Singers. And that means new monster, new weapons, and new armors to craft. And I hope to see you there next time. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have your notifications set so that you're ready for when those videos come out. And as usual, if you have any questions or notice something I missed, leave a comment down below. And if you want to name a survivor, leave a comment down below with a name. We'll see how long they can last in this campaign. But hey, so far so good. I think they'll be in good hands. So until next time, thank you so much for watching.